It doesn't have the luxury of a product like gin or a product like whiskey where you can age it or add botanicals. Really what you're tasting is what comes off the still, so the product needs to really be there.
In an old 6,000 square foot warehouse in the Gowanus section of Brooklyn, Industry City Distillery is making vodka.
What is so important and what differentiates us is that we're actually developing each step of the process simultaneously. So we're able to make what's actually a set of between 3 and 10 machines, which actually all work together and are matched in capacity and function.
The company is just over a year old and makes everything, and I mean everything, themselves. They design and build the machines to distill and ferment the vodka and print labels in-house for their bottles. The 5 founding members, who have no background in alcohol production, say it's cheaper this way and they can control the quality of their product. This machine separates what are called the cuts of the alcohol into what are known as the heads, hearts, and tails of the vodka. Normally there are only 3, but with their finely tuned process, there's a lot more.
The alcohols that we take off our still, we actually individually taste each of the 40 cuts and pick and choose which of those go into our product. So really taking the best of all the different parts of the alcohol that are produced here and making them work in our product.
Distilleries were popular pre-prohibition, and there were no laws governing the practice. But during Prohibition, laws were enforced, and many still remain today, making it hard for companies to be successful.
A lot of it comes down to taxation, to really old laws that date back from Prohibition.
They are also a part of the New York Distillers Guild, which brings together other local distilleries in the area.
I think we're up to like 350 distilleries in the United States, and that number has grown by like 80 in the past year. So it's really something that people are getting back into. It's kind of followed in the wake of, you know, kind of the beer revolution that's happened, but people are now more interested than ever about what they're drinking, where it comes from, and people want choice. So it's a very exciting time for us.
Industry City Distillery has produced 4 different batches of vodka for consumers and is ready to ramp up production from 400 bottles a month to 4,000 by this summer. And the team really does make everything, even down to the yeast.
What we do is we grow yeast here. We don't buy huge amounts of yeast because this requires huge amounts of yeast. We raise them here and then we encapsulate them into a ball of alginate. And what we're able to do is pack so many yeast into such a small area that you get this sort of flash fermentation. So rather than fermentation taking 3 days to a week, it happens continuously, 24 hours a day, non-stop.
So before we taste this, what do you hope that I'm tasting as a consumer?
We're always shooting for the really interesting subtleties that our yeast actually produce with the fermentation process. So you get really beautiful subtle esters, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of spice on the tail end.
So I'm not taking a shot of this, I'm gonna sip this.
Yeah. I mean, we really do encourage people to try everything neat.
All right, so
Cheers.
Cheers. That definitely goes down smooth.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn, I'm Vanessa Yurkevich for Blue and Artinfo.